welcome to our channel. Today we're debunking the top 10 car myths everyone believes. You know, those little nuggets of wisdom that get passed around like a wrench at a pit stop. Some of these myths are harmless, some are just plain strange, and some could actually cost you money or even put you in a spot of bother. We're going to take them all on one by one and separate the fact from the, well, let's just call it creative engineering. Stay tuned to find out which myths you've fallen for and why it's crucial to know the truth. Right, let's start with a classic, the myth that red cars mean higher insurance premiums. It's a tale as old as time, or at least as old as the automobile itself. The idea is that red cars are flashy, they stand out, and therefore they must be more expensive to insure. But is there any truth to this? Now, where did this one come from? Some say it's because red paint is more expensive, or that red cars are more likely to be pulled over by the police. The theory goes that red paint is pricier, and thus the insurance must be higher to cover the cost, but let's dig a little deeper. Others argue that red cars are more likely to be pulled over because they catch the eye of law enforcement. But is this really the case? But the truth, my friends, is far less exciting. Insurance companies don't actually care what color your car is. They are more interested in other factors. Insurance companies focus on your driving history, the type of car you have, where you live, and other sensible stuff. These are the real determinants of your insurance premiums. What they do care about is your driving history, the type of car you have, where you live, all that sensible stuff. Think about it, have you ever seen an insurance form with a little box for colour? Tick if Ferrari red? No. The colour of your car is about as relevant to your insurance premium as the colour of your socks when you're buying a new set of tyres. It's just not a factor, so why is it important to know this? Well, imagine you're smitten with a cherry red beauty, but you shy away because of this myth. You might miss out on a cracking car just because of an old wives' tale. Don't let that happen. Judge a car by its engine, its handling, its character, not by the shade it happens to be painted. Now, why is it important to know this? Because understanding the real factors that affect your insurance can help you make better decisions. Well, imagine you're smitten with a cherry red beauty, but you shy away because of this myth. You might miss out on a cracking car just because of an old wives' tale. Don't let that happen. You might miss out on a cracking car just because of an old wives' tale. Don't let that happen. Judge a car by its engine, its handling, its character, not by the shade it happens to be painted. You might miss out on a cracking car just because of an old wives' tale. Don't let that happen. Judge a car by its engine, its handling, its character, not by the shade it happens to be painted. Judge a car by its engine, its handling, its character, not by the shade it happens to be painted. So, next time you're in the market for a new car, don't let the colour myth steer you away from your dream ride. Choose wisely and drive happily. Premium gasoline. It sounds so sophisticated, so exclusive. The very term premium conjures images of luxury and high performance, doesn't it? It's like the champagne of fuels, promising a smoother, more exhilarating ride. Like it'll somehow magically unlock hidden horsepower, making your car roar with newfound power. You might imagine it transforming your daily commute into a thrilling adventure and turn your trusty family hatchback into a fire-breathing track monster. The allure is undeniable, but is it grounded in reality? But here's the thing, unless your car's manual specifically says it needs premium fuel, you're not getting those benefits. It's like buying a designer suit for a job that requires a uniform. Using it is a bit like wearing a tuxedo to a picnic, a bit unnecessary. Sure, you might look good, but it's not practical or needed. Most cars are designed to run perfectly fine on regular unleaded. They're engineered to perform optimally with the fuel they were designed for. Premium fuel has a higher octane rating, which prevents knocking or premature detonation in high-performance engines. This is crucial for sports cars and high-end vehicles that demand more from their engines. But in a standard engine, it's just not going to make a lick of difference. Your car won't suddenly gain extra horsepower or run more efficiently. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Richard, it makes the car smell faster. The scent of premium fuel might give you a psychological boost, a sense of driving something special. And you know what? You're right, it does have a certain je ne sais quoi at the pump. That little extra something that makes you feel like you're treating your car to the best. But trust me, that money is better spent elsewhere, like on a nice cup of tea or a proper car wash. These are tangible benefits you can actually enjoy. Because when it comes to fuel, stick to what your car actually needs, not what your inner speed demon wants you to believe. Save your money for things that truly enhance your driving experience. This one's a bit of a throwback, isn't it? There's something undeniably charming about the old days when things were simpler yet somehow more complicated. Like using a rotary phone or writing letters with a fountain pen. These were everyday tasks that required a bit more effort and patience. Back in the days of carburetors and chokes, warming up your car was essential. You had to know your vehicle, understand its quirks, and give it the time it needed to be ready for the road. But modern cars, with their fancy fuel injection systems and computer-controlled everything, well, they're a bit like having a personal assistant who's already warmed up the car for you. It's all about convenience and efficiency now. The best way to warm up your engine is to actually drive it gently for the first few minutes. This not only saves fuel, but also reduces emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option. This gets the oil circulating, the engine up to temperature, and everything running smoothly much faster than just letting it sit there idling. Plus, it helps prolong the life of your engine by reducing wear and tear. Now, I understand the temptation to stand outside on a chilly morning, sipping your coffee as your car gently hums away. It's a cozy scene, but it's not the best for your vehicle or the environment. But think of it this way. You wouldn't sit on the sofa all day and then expect to run a marathon, would you? Your body needs to warm up, and so does your car. You need to get those muscles moving, and it's the same with your car. A gentle start ensures everything is in sync and ready for the journey ahead. So next time, skip the idle and start driving gently. Now, this is a myth that's particularly close to my heart, or should I say close to my bumper. You see, it's easy to think that if you're driving a car the size of a small tank, you're invincible, right? But the truth is, safety isn't just about size, it's about a whole lot more. Yes, a larger, heavier car can offer more protection in a crash, but smaller cars often have better crumple zones, designed to absorb impact energy. And let's not forget about maneuverability. A nimble hatchback might be able to swerve out of harm's way more easily than a lumbering SUV. Safety technology plays a massive role too, things like airbags, anti-lock brakes, and electronic stability control. These features can be found on cars of all shapes and sizes these days. So, don't just assume that bigger is always safer. Look at the safety ratings, do your research, and choose a car that fits your needs and driving style. We live in a world of Bluetooth headsets, voice assistants, and hands-free technology. It's tempting to think that as long as our hands are on the wheel, we're being safe, right? But here's the thing, our brains are funny old things. They can only focus on so much at once, even when we're not physically holding our phones. Just the act of talking on the phone, even hands-free, can distract us from the road. We miss important cues, our reaction times slow down, and we become less aware of our surroundings. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle. Not impossible, but definitely not recommended. The safest thing to do is to avoid all phone use while driving, hands-free or not. If you absolutely must take a call, pull over, park safely, and then have your chat. Remember, driving is a privilege, not a right, and it deserves our full attention. This one's been around for ages, hasn't it? The 3,000-mile oil change, a sacred ritual passed down through generations of drivers. And while changing your oil regularly is absolutely crucial for your car's health, the 3,000-mile rule is a bit like using a calendar from 1952. Outdated. Modern cars, with their advanced engines and synthetic oils, can often go much longer between oil changes. Some manufacturers recommend 5,000 miles, 7,500 miles, or even longer. The best thing to do is to check your owner's manual. It's like the car's own personal instruction booklet, telling you exactly what it needs and when. Sticking to the manufacturer's recommendations will not only save you money in the long run, but also ensure your engine stays happy and healthy for miles to come. Our smartphones have become our go-to for everything from ordering takeout to finding the meaning of life, or at least the meaning of obfuscate. So it's no surprise that many of us rely on them for navigation too. But while using your phone's GPS might seem convenient, it's not always the safest option. For starters, those tiny phone screens can be difficult to see, especially when you're trying to navigate an unfamiliar city. And then there's the temptation to zoom in and out, change the music, or heaven forbid, answer that text message. A dedicated GPS device, on the other hand, is designed specifically for navigation. It usually has a larger, clearer screen, spoken turn-by-turn directions, and fewer distractions. Plus, it won't drain your phone's battery, which is always a bonus on a long road trip. Right, let's talk tires, those round rubber things that keep us from grinding to a halt. You'll often hear that you should inflate your tires to the pressure listed on the sidewall, but that, my friends, is like using a chainsaw to trim your hedges. A bit excessive. The sidewall pressure is the maximum pressure the tire can handle, not necessarily the ideal pressure for your car. Overinflating your tires can make for a harsher ride, reduce grip, and even increase your risk of a blowout. The correct tire pressure is usually found on a sticker inside the driver's side door jamb or in your owner's manual. It's like the Goldilocks zone for your tires, not too hard, not too soft, but just right. So, next time you're at the gas station, do yourself and your tires a favor and check that sticker. Now, this one's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. You're driving in the rain, visibility is down, and suddenly the car in front of you switches on its hazard lights. Now, I understand the thinking. I'm being extra cautious, alerting other drivers to my presence. But in reality, it just creates more confusion. Hazard lights are meant for, well, hazards. Things like a broken down vehicle on the side of the road or a sudden stop in traffic. Using them in the rain can mask your brake lights, making it harder for drivers behind you to anticipate your movements. The best way to be seen in the rain is to use your headlights, not your hazard lights. Headlights are designed to illuminate the road ahead and make your car visible to others, even in low visibility conditions. The parking brake, that often forgotten lever or button in your car. Some people swear by it, using it religiously every time they park. Others, well, they treat it like a spare tire, only there for emergencies. But the truth is, the parking brake still has an important role to play in modern motoring, even if you're parked on a perfectly flat surface. Using your parking brake takes the strain off your transmission and prevents your car from rolling away unexpectedly. It's a simple habit that can save you a lot of hassle and potential damage in the long run. Plus, if you ever find yourself driving an older car with a manual transmission, the parking brake becomes your best friend when parked on a hill. It helps prevent rollback and makes starting on an incline much smoother. So there you have it, 10 car myths debunked. Hopefully, you've learned a thing or two, or at the very least, had a good chuckle along the way. Remember, just because something's been repeated for years doesn't make it true. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more top 10 videos on various topics. Comment below if there's a topic you'd like us to cover next. See you in the next video.